and then we can take a break before we have discussion. All right, we will allow 2 minutes of public comment.
And if you really don't have 2 minutes worth, you wouldn't mind if you shorten it a little bit. And try to avoid duplicating maybe some of the comments.
Talita,
Jonathan Lang, Louis Villegas. So we'll start with Talita. Can you be in line at the microphone so we can and remember our little hands too.
Good evening, members of the board. Santa Barbara is a multicultural community, and Cesar Chavez Charter School is a representation of just that. This new generation of children around the globe are the result of multiracial families like our own, who traveled and saw the need to integrate the experiences of different cultures and understand that colorblindness and equality is a value that must be taught by example. My 10-year-old daughter started Cesar Chavez in 3rd grade after spending 3 years at Adams School. After only a year of learning in Spanish half the time, she can now read, write in Spanish, and converse with her abuelita over Skype. This supportive and nurturing environment at Cesar Chavez has made such a difference in her life that she refuses to go back to Adams if Cesar Chavez were to close. Cesar Chavez is a representation of a new era of schools for a new generation of little people. We are a multicultural society, and we need to move on to where time is taking us, to a multicultural world. At Cesar Chavez, we don't just have families from Mexico and a few blondes from Santa Barbara. We have families from Germany, Norway, Vietnam, England, France, Central and South America, and even local Chumash. We are a young school and have some kinks to work out. And when we do, I believe Cesar Chavez will be the envy of other schools and maybe even the model of the new California school. We are blazing a trail of a new generation of multicultural education. We are Cesar Chavez Charter School.
Thank you very much. Dr. Jonathan Lang, followed by Louis Villegas, and followed by Jared Schwartz.
All right, good evening, board and community. I just wanted to say 2 things. One, I'm extremely surprised that Pat McCabe would say you have it right with your data. I'd be surprised that she would stamp her name on your data. I think there's serious problems with your analysis. You presented 43 slides. 8 of them were on API. 12 of them were on a comparison school, which is statistically flawed because it assumes the CCCS student is a typical student from that neighborhood school. You misrepresented the TWI comparison as those being two-way immersion schools. They're not schools. Most of them are actual programs. And you started off the presentation with demographic data that again was misrepresented, that showed demographics from the entire school, not the tested population. I would be shocked if Pat McCabe or any statistical analysis would stamp their approval on that. Furthermore, you've expressed a quote-unquote understanding of what dual immersion is and how students learn and how they improve over time. Yet 29 of your slides were on a school-wide performance. A school-wide performance where 66% of our students are in 2nd through 4th grade. 2nd through 4th grade. That means it's going to be weighted to the lower half. If you understand the model, which is claimed here, you cannot support that data. We had a meeting this last week, to discuss the data. The district,
15 seconds.
the district and the school board here, and we discussed the data, but I'm afraid that you came into that meeting not ready to discuss the data. In fact, the Sunshine proposal, I think, was the first words that came out of the mouth was that we have a proposal for you. It wasn't, let's hear and talk about the data.
Thank you, John. Luis Villegas, followed by Jared Schwartz, followed by Salome Lopez.
Good evening, Madam Chair and fellow board members. I am before you, Luis Villegas, Santa Barbara Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Dear board member, we would like to express our concern over the possible closure of Cesar Chavez Charter School. While we do not normally weigh in on issues outside of the business sector, this matter was recently brought to our attention, and our board of directors felt compelled to make a recommendation to you, the decision-making body. As members of the business community, we see the value of a second language on a daily basis, and this is across all industries. Cesar Chavez Charter School represents one of the last vestiges of encouraging our young students to learn and excel in two languages. In today's workplace, how many times have we heard a co-worker or a customer say, "I wish I would have taken Spanish in high school"? To draw an analogy from the current banking industry, Cesar Chavez Charter School is not unlike a financial institution that is experiencing difficult times. Federal regulators like the FDIC do not just rush in and close the institution immediately. Quite the opposite. They work with the institution, its board of directors and officers, to help them with the development of an improvement plan. Such plan includes the identification of areas of improvement and workable timeframes to achieve them, and I emphasize workable timeframes. All work together toward the desired successful outcomes developed jointly. Therefore, the Santa Barbara Hispanic Chamber of Commerce recommends that your board renew the charter for Cesar Chavez School. Additionally, we recommend that the district administration be strongly encouraged to work in true partnership with the leadership of Cesar Chavez School in order to develop a realistic improvement plan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jared Schwartz, Salome Lopez, Rogelio Rivas.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Salome Lopez, and I want to share that I have two daughters. The oldest one benefited from bilingual education during kindergarten and first grade, before it was taken up. During her second grade, English was pounded into her head so that she will learn it as soon as possible. And yes, indeed, by either third or grade, she came out proficient on her STAR test. However, all through her junior high school years, and even now in her first year of college, she's struggling with her reading. The younger one studied kindergarten at Cesar Chavez. By the second grade, her first STAR test, she came out proficient. She's gone up and down through her years. Now she's in sixth grade and reading at 8th grade level, both in English and Spanish. But mainly what I want to tell the board tonight is that all of us here are being good citizens. We're participating in our children's education, just the way you guys want. We are paying our taxes. Therefore, we have the right to choose the education. We know it's working for our kids. Renew our charter, please.
Thank you. Is Gerard here? Schwartz? Oh.
If you have children in the Cesar Chavez Charter School, I invite you to stand up with me. Dr. Service, you have said that you don't believe our children are getting as good as education as they will be getting in our school. We choose to send our kids to this school. Please don't tell us anymore that we don't understand what a good education is. Thank you. Please be seated. When you say that our children are not learning enough English and that they aren't succeeding in the standardized test, we hear you. There is a big difference between a great and a good education. We see the world differently. Our schools can and will improve, but it is already the best school for all children. When you say that our school must shut down in December or in June, we felt like a shock. Cesar Chavez Charter School is not a failing school. The test has failed us. The system has failed us. Please do not fail us. Help us renew our charter. When you say that our school doesn't qualify for renewal, you are completely disregarding that they are bilingual in bilateral. No other child in the district comes close to that achievement. Being bilingual is more than a test to us. We are saying that you want all the kids in Santa Barbara to be bilingual, but at the same time, you don't want to renew that what we have. Therefore, we are not supporting our community. We pay taxes and we live here. We want you to represent us as a superintendent of the people. I recommend to the board that our school does qualify for renewal. I'll just give you the most clear and convincing
20
data
seconds.
you need. Thank you.
Eva Oxelson, followed by Laura Hill Bonet, followed by Dr. Jim Suplee. Can you make your way to the microphone, please?
Buenas noches. Thank you. Dr. Jason Rayleigh from the Gewurz Graduate School of Education could not be here tonight due to a death in his family, so he's asked me to read this on his behalf. I'm not sure at this point what new information or what information from some new perspective would move the board members to a different decision than what we may already have made. What can we add that might be new? What could we say that might help clarify? Here's our brief try. There is something special happening at Cesar Chavez Charter School. We spent 3 years following students through their first 3 years at this school. In countless ways, the children, families, and teachers at Cesar Chavez are like their counterparts in other schools. In at least one significant way, they are different. Everyone at Cesar Chavez believes that they can do something to make change. There are myriad frustrations, but there is no apathy. There are disagreements, but there is shared sacrifice. There is risk, but there is a willingness to try to trust. The self-government required by the charter has helped the families and teachers at Cesar Chavez to believe again in their own capacity for positive change. There is something special happening at Cesar Chavez Charter School. Almost every school has a group of vocal, committed families working hard to make sure children get what they need. At Cesar Chavez, the commitment may be more quiet, but it is arguably deeper and more widespread. Parents come into class and help. Teachers and parents sit together, informally and often, to discuss the evolving lives of kids. The freedom provided by the charter has enabled the families and teachers of Cesar Chavez to overcome generations of suspicion and cross boundaries of race, class, and language, a boundary that too often exists at a school's front door.
20 seconds.
There is something special happening at Cesar Chavez School. Dual language immersion is not an experimental approach, but the charter has allowed the families, teachers, and children at Cesar Chavez to approach the details of their work in an ongoing experiment. This is as it should be. Yes, it is a very important experiment with real-life consequences, and yes, there is good existing knowledge that should be utilized, but because they see the work of teaching and learning as an experiment, they are more sensitive to the real lived experiences of kids, and they don't wait very long before they try new things to reach every child.
Thank you very much. Laura Hill Bonet, Dr. Jin Suk Lee, followed by Peter Artusio.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Laura Bonet. I recently finished my PhD in Graduate School of Education at UCSB. I spent 3 years with Jason Rayleigh, Jin Suk Lee, and Eva Oxelson, spending time in the classrooms of Chavez Charter School on a weekly basis, sometimes on a daily basis. The things that are going on in these classrooms are absolutely astounding. They're things that cannot be measured on a brief snapshot of a test, things that don't get shown on the screen or on the charts. I've witnessed, I've documented, I've written about, I have research-based evidence to show that the students are learning at a much deeper level, not at a procedural level, but at a conceptual level, in 2 languages, in language arts and in mathematics, the way that they talk about the things that they understand, the way that they interact with their teachers, the way they ask questions about the very things that they know and they want to know is amazing, and that does not show up there on those screens. I beg of you, if you haven't had a chance to go into the classrooms and spend some time with the teachers there, you've got to do it, because there you'll see what's going on, not on those STEM screens. And the things that we've seen in our research are absolutely in line and absolutely commensurate with all of the things that Dr. Lynn O'Leary have seen and the research that's been done nationwide. This is a young school, and they've got things to do, but they are well on their way, and they're on the right track. If you go in the classrooms, you'll see that.
Thank you, Diana.
My name is Dr. Jen Soakley, and I'm professor at the Commerce Graduate School of Education at UCSD. I've had the great fortune of interacting with the teachers and the students over the past 3 years, and I was hoping to come here to share some of my perspectives
Speak a
with
little
you.
closer.
First of all, I'm not going to repeat all of the great things that dual immersion schools can accomplish. But one unique characteristic about dual immersion schools is that in standardized tests, most research shows that the benefits really show up after 4th grade. Now, the true test of whether Cesar Chavez is effective or not, or is a good school or not, really starts with the cohort of the current 4th graders, because they are the first cohort to receive the true implementation of the 50-50 dual immersion model. And so I think if you were to base any high-stakes decisions on test scores, you really need to wait and watch these 4th grade students over the next 3 years to see how they do on their test scores, and I think you'll see a better, more positive picture. Second of all, I saw a lot of concern. I've been following the story in the media, and I saw a lot of concern about whether the kids are really learning English or not. And from my observations in the playground, I can tell you that my concern was, are they speaking enough Spanish? The shift to English language has been so fast, just over the past couple of months that I've seen them. And also, when I go into the English language, second language classroom, what I see is very contextualized language instruction that the teachers are teaching for real purposeful communication rather than teaching to the test. And that's the kind of education that we want to see our English language learners have. And furthermore, I also read that one of the board's recommendations was that you would like to increase English language instruction time. Please do not do that at the expense of their primary language, because that goes against all of the benefits of dual immersion.
20 seconds.
I would like to end with a quick story. In January of 2008, I went to the school and I met a young girl that I hadn't seen before. I asked her if she was new, and she said, yes, she just transferred from a local public school. And I asked her why she transferred, and she said, well, because my mom and I saw that everybody that goes to Cesar Chavez is smart, and I want to be smart. And so what I would like to urge the board members to do is please renew the charter as soon as possible so that the teachers could go back and the parents could go back to stability and normacy, and they could refocus their education for the benefit of the children.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter Artucio, Michelle Tack, followed by Javier Vasquez.
Good evening. My name is Peter Artuzio. I have two Cesar Chavez cheetah girls. The younger is Juliana, currently a third grader, at Cesar Chavez. The older, Emilia Artuzio, is an outstanding graduate of last year's 6th grade class. Emilia started kindergarten summer school in 2002 and completed the kindergarten through 6th grade program at Cesar Chavez. 2nd and 3rd grade, her STAR scores were basic. By 5th and 6th grades, her scores were advanced. Juliana was below basic in 2nd grade on those the STAR tests, but this year showing signs of excelling, and will score better for sure this year. Her Spanish is suddenly very impressive. In 2004, I was a speaker to this board before our program's charter renewal. I joined the Governance Council a month later. The previous summer, we had hired our first principal. In those months, there was a power struggle between the principal and the Governance Council during which time Pete Rellis, our most prominent founder, who died this past July, was forced out of the school by the principal. At the same time, most of the then remaining formative governance council members quit, and the principal took over control of the entire program. The charter, the MOU, the single plan for student achievement, facilities agreement, and our relationship with Dr. Lindholm Leary. Basically everything except for the finance. After the 2004 charter renewal, Michael Gonzalez interacted only with the principal. I tried to insist the governance council must maintain a controlling hand in the business of the school.
20 seconds.
But the board agreed to Eva's demand for full control of everything. 5 years later, it's evident she did not succeed in managing those documents and responsibilities as we had hoped. This is a very capable council, composed of very intelligent doctors, professors, teachers, advisors, and parents. They will make the changes that are needed. Now that they have, again, taken the reins of responsibility, please do not take away their control and ability to bring this school to the amazing success we will achieve.
Michelle Taft, followed by Javier Vasquez, followed by Carmen Herrera.
I couldn't resist the opportunity to come down here and talk to you guys. I kept seeing this on TV and thinking, I have to come down here and be a testimony to the school because my daughter went K through 5, and then I transferred her to another school. I was very concerned, for about 6 years, I was concerned, to be honest with you, about the low test scores. My daughter also had low test scores. But I've noticed now that she's had 2 years out of the school, wow, I'm really, really happy that I made the decision to put my kid in that school because she really shows, she's got very high test scores at her new school, and I can tell that it's just her whole personality, her math scores are very high, her English scores are very high as well, her history, everything. But I had to come down here and say that because I think that the school hasn't been around long enough really to see how far the kids that have already graduated are gone. But I really think that it shouldn't be closed, and I think you should take that into consideration, that it hasn't been open long enough.
Thank you very much. Javier Vasquez, followed by Carmen Herrera, Dr. Marisol Marquez.
Muy bien, my name is Javier Vázquez. La petición en la escuela César Chávez es indispensable para nuestros niños y para la comunidad de Santa Bárbara. Basada en la evidencia de estancias, creemos que esta provee una educación sobresaliente a los estudiantes. Nosotros, los abundantes familias, maestros y amigos de la César Chávez School, pedimos que renueven el convenio de la escuela en cuanto antes. También pedimos que hagan todo lo que esté en su poder para asegurar permanecer abierta y que reciban apoyo y cumplir con su misión. Mi esposa y yo pasamos mucho tiempo en la escuela César Chávez. Hablamos con la gente, sabemos el valor de nuestra educación. Ayúdenos a nuestros hijos para aprender, apóyenos a nuestra comunidad. Creemos en los maestros, creemos en los sueños de César Chávez cuando dijo que el fin de la educación debe ser el servicio de los demás. Aquí les presento con 1,281 firmas de padres, maestros y de la comunidad.
About 15 seconds.
I'm going to translate briefly what he said, and he stated that this petition states Cesar Chavez Charter School is invaluable to our children and to the Santa Barbara communities. Based on substantial evidence, we believe it is supporting and outstanding education to the students. We, the undersigned families, teachers, and friends of CCCS, request that you renew the school's charter immediately. We also request that you do everything in your power to ensure that it stays open and receives support in accomplishing its mission. My wife and I spend time at Cesar Chavez Charter School. We speak with the people. We know the value of a good education. We help our children to learn. We support our community. We believe in the teachers. We believe in the dream of Cesar Chavez when he said, "The end of all education should surely be service to others." I am presenting you here with 1,281 signatures of those who support this unique school and wish for you to give it your full support by whatever means necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. Carmen Herrera, Dr. Maricela Marquez, and Margarita Dominguez.
Buenas noches, queridos miembros de la mesa directiva y Dr. Service. Mi nombre es Carmen Herrera, soy miembro del Consejo Gobernador y mi hija cursa el 4º grado. Desde que mi hija estaba en su primer año de preschool, yo ya sabía en qué escuela quería que hiciera sus primeros 6 grados, Cesar Chavez Charter School. Pues yo creo que el programa de inmersión dual que tiene esta escuela constituye unos buenos cimientos para los estudiantes. El programa de inmersión dual trabaja de la siguiente manera. Los niños aprenden a leer y a escribir en su primer idioma. Si el idioma que el niño domina es el inglés, pues aprende a leer y escribir en inglés. Si el idioma que el niño domina es el español, el niño empieza a aprender a leer y escribir en español. Otro punto muy importante es que si el niño ve una clase de ciencias en inglés, no la volverá a repetir en español. Este programa está basado en 50-50, 50% español, 50% inglés. Por otro lado, las estadísticas dicen que un niño que aprende en un programa de inmersión dual, su nivel de intelecto se desarrolla más alto, que nos da por consecuencia un niño que aspira a una carrera universitaria o a un doctorado. Hoy día mi hija hace los exámenes estatales en artes del lenguaje y matemáticas en inglés y en español. Yo le he dicho a ella que una de las ventajas de estar en Cesar Chavez es que cuando ella llegue a la middle school, como llevará un buen nivel de español, ya no volverá a repetir español, sino que tendrá oportunidad de aprender otro idioma, como el francés o alemán o el que ella decida. Por lo pronto, ella dice que le gustaría el francés. Lo que me gusta de esa escuela es que cualquier idioma que hables tiene el mismo valor que cualquier otro idioma. De esta manera, los niños que llegan de países latinoamericanos se sienten con más confianza de hablar su idioma mientras aprenden el inglés. Otra experiencia que he vivido con los padres de familia de esa escuela es que al mismo tiempo somos alumnos y maestros unos de otros. Nosotros lo estamos aprendiendo cuando intercambiamos y convivimos, estamos apoyándonos mutuamente con el inglés y español. Yo creo que lo que nosotros los padres estamos haciendo es muy buen ejemplo para nuestros hijos. Por favor, les pido que reconsideren su decisión en nombre de todos los padres de familia que estamos aquí. Gracias.
Can we have a translation?
Good evening, my name is Carmen Herrera and I am a member of the Governance Council at Cesar Chavez. My daughter is currently in 4th grade, and since my daughter was in preschool, I already knew what school I wanted my daughter to attend to for her first 6 years of elementary school, and I decided that that would be CCCS because I firmly believe in the dual immersion bilingual program that this school has. I believe that this type of program gives the students a good foundation for their education. And let me explain to you the way that a dual immersion program works. The students learn first in their primary language to read and to write. Once the child has mastered their first language, then they transfer those skills into their second language. Another very important point is that if a student is taking a science class in English, they will not see the same class in Spanish. This program is based on the 50-50 model. 50% of the time they learn in English and 50% in Spanish. Furthermore, statistics show that when a child is in a dual immersion program, their level of intellectual development is higher, and consequently, this child will have greater aspirations in life, such as having a university degree or a doctorate degree. Currently, my daughter is taking state exams in language arts and mathematics and English and Spanish. I've always told her that one of the advantages of being in CCCS is that when she reaches middle school, she will have a good level in Spanish and will not have to repeat Spanish classes again, but she will have the opportunity to learn a new language like French, German, or whatever she decides. So far, she says that she wants to learn French next. What I like about this school is that whatever language the students speak, they have the same value. It is valued just as much as English is. Okay. For this reason, when children come from Latin American countries, they feel they are confident. They have confidence in speaking their own language while they read in English. And I think that's all she had time to read.
Thank you. Dr. Maricela Marquez, followed by Margarita Dominguez, followed by Carmen Herrera. Oh, that's, Carmen's already been here. Okay.
So I wanted to address my comments to the board, and I understand the narrative and how it's being framed, in that you essentially are unable to renew the charter at this time in the way it is being framed. But who amongst us hasn't actually wondered what we would do in a moment where you're watching a state law that's in error? And many times we look back in history and that's exactly what has happened. And it always takes the conscience of a few, three in particular in this case, to actually come up with your own motion this evening. Even off the cuff would be better than this resolution. And I'm speaking to you on behalf of La Casa La Raza as the president of the board, and I'm speaking to you on behalf of what I've seen in the children as a member of the University of California, Santa Barbara faculty. We've created a great deal of after-school programs where the Cesar Chavez children themselves have participated as lifelong learners after school, along with children in the rest of the school district, in our summer programs and in the afternoons. And I'll tell you qualitatively, because you have plenty of quantitative data from which to draw, qualitatively there is a great deal of difference between the lifelong learning experience of a child that comes from one school versus another. It absolutely is true. You've heard it, you know it. It takes the moral imperative at moments like this to actually say, you know what, the state is wrong in the way it gauges and frames and controls a school board. And in this district, you're willing to stand apart, and you're willing to make a motion tonight saying that you do indeed intend on not following the learned advice of your staff, which is sad because, you know, we all want the best thing, but personally, for me, for this moment, I would say that taking the moral imperative is absolutely the only choice for the school board.
Thank you. Margarita Dominguez, followed by Cesar Antonio, followed by Mayra Lazaro.
Good evening, my name is Margarita Dominguez. I'm a mother of 5th grader at Cesar Chavez. My daughter has been very successful in the school. She's completely bilingual, bicultural, and biliterate. On top of that, she was rated as an advanced student by the state test. Our school is not a failing school. I'm here tonight to ask you for a renewal. We know our school can improve just as any other school in the nation, and that is what we're planning on doing, improving our school. With the same dual immersion program that we have right now. I thank you for your time, and I really, really urge you to think twice before changing our dual immersion program or closing down our school. Our children are very important to us, and right now they're feeling very stressed about it because they know about it. And they keep asking, why is this happening? I mean, we know that we can improve, and we're willing to do that in a combination with you guys' help, or the help from the parents that you can see we have a lot of it. And the school members, the teachers, we're all willing to change whatever means necessary to get this school better than what it is.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cesar Antonio, followed by Myra Lazaro, followed by Tracy Newton.
Buenas noches. I'm going to speak in behalf of the kids, so I'm going to use very simple language. Okay? You're taking away their dream before they even had a chance to defend themselves. They're going to grow up one day. Some people think that education is expensive. Try ignorance. Build schools, not jails. Give them the chance to defend themselves. They don't understand about the politics of what's going on right now. And I challenge you to come to the school and talk to them alone and tell them that they might not have a school. We have problems. Let's find solutions. We can do it. As humans, we have the capability to do this. I don't think that this is the right answer tonight. You don't have to worry about your kids. This is hitting us in a very soft spot in our hearts. It's their future. And we're going to fight for this. We're too proud. We're too many. We're too smart. We have taken the difficult path. It takes time to learn 2 languages. I speak 3, and it wasn't easy. Our children have the right to know.
20 seconds.
I'm going to finish with John F. Kennedy said, the future of humanity is based on embracing different cultures and languages. Only speaking a different language you can understand humans. Let's find a solution. We can do it. Sí se puede.
Thank you very much. Myra Lazaro, followed by Tracy Yui, followed by Esteban Ortiz.
Good evening. My name is Mira Lasmo, and I'm here because it is my understanding that there are 2 components that have been eliminated from the data that you're considering. The first is the 2 first graduating classes of Cesar Chavez are not part of this
Can you move closer to the mic?
And the second is those students who left Cesar Chavez and went to private schools are not part of the school. By not looking at those 2 components, you've effectively eliminated a significant part of the database and the highest achieving scholars at the school. My daughter started at Cesar Chavez when she was 5 years old in 2005. No, sorry, that's wrong. In 2000, she was part of the first class. I heard earlier that there were concerns about scores in the 5th grade. Her STAR test scores were above average all the way through. In the 5th grade, she actually received a 600
Upon graduating from Cesar Chavez, she received an academic scholarship to Anacapa Private School, as did many other of her classmates who are not part of this database. She's on the honor roll for all four quarters of her time there. She graduated Anacapa and is now at Santa Barbara High School, where she's taking all honors courses, honors English, gate geometry, honors physics. She's also taking an advanced science class, for which she gets college credit. It really disappoints me that this population, significant population, that's not included in this pool, doesn't have any impact on the decisions that we're making today. And I really think that you're underestimating the student body that you have. I really hope that you renew the charter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tracy Ewing, Esteban Ortiz, Jeremy Martin.
Good evening, board. My name is Tracy Ewing. I'm a parent of a second grade student at Cesar Chavez. I'm also a doctoral student in the Graduate School of Education at UCSB. That's what brought us to this community. I was hesitant about moving up to Santa Barbara. My family was deeply rooted in the Simi Valley, which, if you don't know, is a highly achieving district. All of my children were high achievers. The API scores of the schools they went to were very good. When I looked around at the schools in Santa Barbara and I was debating whether or not to move my children here, I saw Cesar Chavez. I looked it up online, made a meeting with the principal, came and looked at the school. And I had a lot of information about the school test scores because I was concerned as a parent, do I want to send my child to one of the lowest ranking schools in the area, take her out of one of the top ranking schools in the state and bring her to the lowest? And that's exactly what I chose to do. And so I ask you to think about tonight, what kind of parents are choosing to bring their children to the lowest ranking school in the state? Are they stupid parents? Parents who don't care? Parents who can't conceive of education in terms of test scores or don't understand the repercussions of what will happen when they graduate? Or are they educated parents? Are they parents who care about their children and who see something different in Cesar Chavez, something different from the test scores? I'm here tonight to ask you to not approve resolution number 2009-10-25. I ask you instead to come up with a resolution that will allow you to renew the charter at Cesar Chavez so that our children can continue to grow and develop. I've seen the Governance Council working very hard night and day. They hear your concerns. They hear our concerns as parents. We don't. Okay. We want to improve the school. We will improve the school. Let me just tell you, as a student in the Graduate School of Education, there's nothing more frustrating for me to think that I'm going to spend 6 years of my life researching, studying, and trying to improve education in this state, trying to decrease the achievement gap, if all the research is for nothing. If we're going to lose it all because we can't make decisions based on the research. One more last point. You're saying, Dr. Sarvis, that we do not have clear and convincing evidence. Yet, here sits Dr. Lindholm Leary, the preeminent scholar in dual immersion language programs, telling you that we do have clear and convincing evidence. Please listen to the expert.
Esteban Ortiz, Jeremy Martin, Nate Monley.
Last time I spoke, my main point of my speaking before was that too few Latinos succeed under the current educational system. Second point is, I want to thank Dr. Bob Noel for acknowledging a couple of meetings ago that he was one of the existing board members who approved the existence of Cesar Chavez. And that he acknowledged that that was with the full understanding that the school was going to be low in scores at the beginning. We understand that as parents, and we will be working, as you can see, based on the evidence that Dr. Chavez may bring to you in anecdotes and whatever he presents to you after he attends our meetings, that we are willing and we will be bettering ourselves. According to the data, and according to Dr. Sarvis telling the media, we would not be here if it were not for 2 API points. there's different things in the school that are working really well. So well that they're being copied by other schools. One of my co-parents here points out to me that the art program is excellent at our school, and it's been copied elsewhere. And one last thing that I want to say is, based on everything that I've heard here, based on my experience as a parent, and based on the things that I see the governance council doing, I want to say that I much rather be in the Si Se Puede program than in the Sal Si Puedes current system.
Thank you. Jeremy Martin, followed by Nick Monley, followed by Holly Gill.
Could I make a request that that last sentence be translated to the board? Sal si puedes means leave, get out if you can.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Sarnes, Mrs. Kowalski. Thank you for being here to listen to us tonight. Empathy is the validation of the experience of others, even though it might not have been experienced by the receiver. We are asking you to please validate our experience with empathy, to understand that what we have seen is valid. Numerous speakers, including Dr. Min Holmes-Leary, have spoken and testified that they see data that indicate the success of Cesar Chavez Charter School. PhD students, PhD graduates have also voiced their support of Cesar Chavez Charter School. There remains a difference in the data. And I please ask you to continue the conversation so that the board might be able to see where we are succeeding. From my perception, it does not seem like the board is ready to conclude that there is not clear and convincing data. That is exactly what this document, if it is signed by the board tonight, you would be declaring. I'm not sure you're at that point yet. Dr. Sarnes, from my understanding, voiced that this school would not close. Let it be clear, if this is approved, that says the charter will not be renewed, which it does say in this language, the school will cease to exist. A new charter is a new school. Please do not tell me that changing something's name, changing the way it's formatted, changing the way it describes itself is,
20 seconds.
Thank you, is the same school. Thank you.
Jeremy Martin, followed by Nate.
Actually,
that was Jeremy, sorry. Nate Monley, followed by Holly Gill.
Hi, my name is Nate Monley. I was with Cesar Chavez back when we were a school of less than 50 students at Girls Inc. Up until last year. I was a 6th grade teacher the last several years, and it's been my pleasure, my privilege to work with this community. As you can see, it's an inspiring community. We get huge numbers to come out to support our school. To people with a vision and with a purpose, and it's always inspired me. I just want to emphasize the fact that this is a school of choice. Ultimately, parents are going to vote with their feet, and it's one of the, I think, the beautiful parts of our California charter system. You see a powerful testimony to that tonight. I'm a parent of a 3.5-year-old and a 1-year-old myself. Currently, I'm a principal of a school in Sacramento, 88% free and reduced lunch. 2-time Title I Academic Achievement Award, one of only 5 schools in Sac City Unified School District to qualify for the Distinguished School Award, 826 API, off the charts. And I don't know where I'd send my children between that school and this school because of the fantastic program that it offers. And ultimately, charter schools are about empowering parents, and you see a group of empowered parents here with vision and with purpose. The quote that brought me into education for the first time comes from the prophet Habakkuk. He said, "The vision still has its purpose and presses on towards fulfillment, and it will not disappoint." And I think that we've seen the people of the Cesar Chavez community year after year just come back here and say,
20 seconds, Mr. Principal.
Thank you very much. They haven't said 20 seconds, Mr. Principal. What they've said is, we believe in this program and we
want it. And that's the beauty of the charter system, and I hope you'll take that into account, not to make it into anything other than what it is, but to renew its charter. They're ready to work with you. Strong interventions, a lot of different changes to the school that can make it more powerful. Thank you.
And thank you for taking control of the school for 2 days. We appreciate it very much. I don't know how we lost you. Holly Gill.
Good evening. First, I'd like to start by saying that we have a wonderful school, amazing parents and staff, and we've really come together over these last couple months. It's really been truly amazing. I participated with the School Site Council in developing the single plan for student achievement, which we didn't have very much time to present. We didn't even get to present it, but you were all presented with it up there. And I just wanted to highlight a couple things that we've included in that. First thing is targeting our EL students and getting more support for them. And we feel that by supporting our teachers, we're going to be able to do that. Supporting them in ELD instruction and systematic ELD instruction. And just like what Dr. Sarva said, the things that they would be doing, the same kind of things that we've decided to do. Having someone in the classroom, we have a professional development leader coach position that we've decided to add to our staff, and that person would be in the classroom monitoring, making sure that things are being done, and assessing frequently the teachers and giving them feedback. An area that we found was a weakness is frequent assessment, and that's something that we've committed to changing. We want to have consistent, frequent assessments going on in the classroom, and we have a school evaluation tool where teachers will be required to give these benchmark assessments, standard-based benchmark assessments, and reporting that to us, to the governing body. And I just want to point out that in just all the research that we've done, looking at different schools, what we've found that makes a school really successful. Okay. There are 3 things: high standards for all, high level of parent involvement, and frequent and consistent assessment. And we feel like we have that combination. We already have a great school, but given the time, we're going to go way beyond what you guys could even imagine.
Thank you. Oh. That ends the public comment portion. At this time, with no board objection, we'll go ahead and take a 10-minute break and then finish discussion and take action on this item. At this time, I'm officially pulling item E3, F3, and F4 from the agenda. And we will come back in 10 minutes to continue discussion on E1.